equals 3 studios.
What's up, guys? So recently I did an episode about banned ads, and it got me thinking about other banned things, or at least things that have caused a lot of backlash, like movies. So I put together a pretty crazy list for you guys. Ready? Let's get controversial.
Number 10.
The Day the Clown Cried. These are clown tears. This film is insane, and it should be buried. It starred and was directed by Jerry Lewis in 1972. Lewis was known for wacky comedies like The Original Nutty Professor and Cinderella. And this movie was about a clown. A clown in the Holocaust. Too soon. In the film, Lewis plays a clown who gets arrested and thrown into a concentration camp after drunkenly shit-talking Hitler. The clown is then forced to entertain children before leading them into a gas chamber. Who thought this was a good idea? Who was like clowns and children and gas chambers? Apparently Lewis loved it. He thought this was the script that was gonna get audiences and movie critics to take him seriously as an Oscar nominee and a true artist. But after the film was finished and Lewis watched it and stopped smoking crack, he buried it and vowed that audiences would never see it. However, in 2015, Lewis donated his personal collection of prints to the Library of Congress, including the sole copy of The Day the Clown Cried. But there's a catch. They can't screen the film for 10 years. And Lewis is 89 now, so he's probably not gonna be around for the Twitter backlash. So, 2025, Clown Holocaust and chill.
Number 9.
The Devils. This movie's just disgusting. This film, directed by Ken Russell in 1971, is about an outspoken priest who's accused of witchcraft by a sexually repressed, deformed nun in the 17th century. So fun for the whole family. It's actually based on a book, The Devils of Loudun, which is a fictionalized version of actual events. So this is a movie that's based on a book that's based on actual events based in truth. So the film's religious themes mixed with violent sexual content raised a few eyebrows. It was so extreme that to even qualify for an X rating in the UK, they had to cut like a ton of scenes, including scenes where multiple nuns sexually assault a statue of Jesus, an exorcism is performed, and hinted at butt stuff. They also had to cut down one of the most infamous scenes in the movie, where a deformed nun masturbates with the femur of the dead hero. The full uncut version of this film has only screened in the UK 3 times as of 2011, and it's been banned by 17 governments. I have a really big problem with this. The femur is a big bone.
Number 8.
Disney's Song of the South. So this movie did win awards, but it's super racist. Song of the South is a Disney film released in 1946 based on Uncle Remus stories by Joel Chandler Harris. In the movie, Uncle Remus, a black guy, tells stories about Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear to children. Brer Rabbit? That sounds pretty cute. How's that offensive? He told these stories to the plantation owner's children where he lived. Yeah, plantation, slavery, not cute. Even if there's rabbits. The film is supposedly set in post-slavery Reconstruction, but film critics say that's not clear, especially since the black characters seem so subservient to the white characters. And the fact that everyone just seems so fine and dandy with this arrangement minimizes the horrors of slavery. Zippity-doo-dah, racism. You guys know the song Zippity-doo-dah? That's from this movie, and it won an Oscar for Best Song. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Racism, slavery is good for Oscar song. Oh, fun fact. If you've ever gone on the ride Splash Mountain at Disneyland and thought, I wonder what film this ride's from, it's this movie. Yeah, might as well be called Racist Mountain, Splash and Slavery, Tears of the South. The NAACP released statements condemning the film, and Adam Clayton Powell Jr., a congressman from Harlem, said,
It's an insult to American minorities and everything America as a whole stands for.
Yeah, I would agree. Zippity-doo-dah!
Number 7.
The Last Temptation of Christ. This film is super artistic and thought-provoking, but it pissed off a lot of people. Super famous master filmmaker Martin Scorsese made this film in 1988, and it ruffled quite a few feathers. This film is a reimagining of Nikos Kazantzakis' fictional novel about Jesus being human. Anytime you make a movie about the central figure of someone's religion, you're gonna piss a few people off. But this movie took it to a whole nother level. There's the scene where Jesus is hanging on the cross, you know, as you do, and he's imagining what it would be like if he were just a normal dude. Apparently, one of the things Jesus would have done differently is he would have had sex with the prostitute Mary Magdalene, and then this movie shows us what that would look like. No one wants to see their Lord having sex. You think seeing your parents is bad. The Vatican denounced the film, and protesters started picketing screenings. In France, people even threw Molotov cocktails into the theater where it was being screened. Some countries banned the film outright without even seeing it. They're like, Jesus having sex? Nah, we good. And it still can't be seen in the Philippines or Singapore. I mean, I don't know why people hate it so much. If Jesus has sex with prostitutes, then I mean, you're probably good, right?
Number 6.
Cannibal Holocaust. This film is super violent, among other things. I mean, just the name, Cannibal Holocaust. I don't even need to explain, but I will. Cannibal Holocaust is an Italian found footage horror film directed by Ruggero DiGiorno and Gianfranco Cheeseburger. It tells the story of a documentary crew who went missing in the Amazon while filming cannibal tribes, and the only clue to their fates is in the film canisters that were found. Wait, this was 30 years before the Blair Witch Project. Everyone thought the Blair Witch Project was so legendary. To add to the mystique surrounding this film, all of the actors involved had to sign a contract saying that they would disappear from the public eye for the entire year after the film was shot. Wait, what? No Instagram? After its premiere in Italy, the film was seized by local police, and DiGiorno was arrested on charges of making a snuff film. The movie was banned in Australia and other places for its graphic violence, sexual assault, and brutality towards animals. Eventually, the actors showed up in court and proved that they weren't murdered. But I mean, props for the amazing special effects, am I right? Some pigs and monkeys were actually killed on screen while making this film. Hashtag rude, hashtag get 'em PETA. Some nations have since revoked the ban, but it's still upheld in several countries. And it should be. I don't care if it looks like people are getting murdered, they hurt animals. It's like I don't even know you anymore, DiGiorno.
Number 5.
Triumph of the Will. This movie is beautiful Nazi propaganda. Yeah, one of the most influential films in cinema history was basically a commercial for Nazis. Ba-dum-ba-ba-ba, you're a Nazi. Director Leni Riefenstahl insisted she was not a Nazi, but her name's also Riefenstahl. I'm gonna piss off some people named Riefenstahl with that. The film is a documentary about the 1934 Nuremberg rally, and it juxtaposes Hitler speaking with beautiful stylized shots of Nazis. Riefenstahl's use of moving cameras, aerial photography, music, long focus lenses, cinematography, they were all super revolutionary. This film has influenced filmmakers like Charlie Chaplin, Peter Jackson, and George Lucas. Yeah, supposedly Lucas pulled inspiration from this film when he made Star Wars. All those revolutionary things were great, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this film glorifies Nazis. Riefenstahl claimed that the film was about images and not ideas, and that she was just merely documenting what was happening. Critics called bullshit. They pointed out that anti-Semitism, one of the main things the Nazis were about, was conveniently left out of the film. They say the film was a deliberate attempt to paint Nazis in a sympathetic light, and the film is still banned in Germany to this day.
Number 4.
Kids! This doesn't sound so bad. This movie is, how do I say it? Child porn. Kids is a disturbing film that follows a group of New York teenagers as they talk about sex, do drugs, give each other AIDS, and beat up random strangers. Who doesn't love a good chick flick? Am I right? 27 dresses, kids. Critics said that depicting the sex lives of adolescents basically made the film a child porn. They pulled the film from the competition at Sundance, choosing instead to just show it at one late night screening. Producer Kerry Woods kept the film reel in his possession before and after the screening because he was so afraid it would be confiscated by the police. Miramax, who made the film, was so freaked out that they kept the country's preeminent child porn defense lawyer on retainer just in case. Does he put that on his business card? Just at a casual brunch, oh yeah, here's my card. I'm a child porn, defense lawyer, frittata? So despite all the backlash, this film was nominated for several Independent Spirit Awards. It also launched the careers of Chloe Sevigny and newcomer Rosario Dawson, who had just finished 8th grade before appearing in the film. When I finished 8th grade, I went to Six Flags, so we're the same thing.
Number 3.
The Birth of a Nation. Oh look, another super racist movie. Birth of a Nation is a super famous silent film directed by D.W. Griffith and released in 1915. It was based on the book and the play The Klansman by Thomas Dixon Jr., and it focuses on 2 families during the Civil War, one from the North and one from the South. This film was a huge commercial success. It cost $100,000 to make, which was a lot at the time, and then it made millions in the box office. But it was controversial for a lot of reasons. The Ku Klux Klan is portrayed as heroes. Blackface. The film inspired William Joseph Simmons to create a new and improved Klan. New and improved, now with whiter costumes and more hate. The film kind of states that black people and white people can never peacefully coexist. Birth of a Nation was used as a recruiting tool for the Klan. They even based their costumes on the costumes in the movie. So yeah, there were some widespread riots and protests. Even today, the film still sparks outrage in people. A 2004 screening in Los Angeles was canceled due to arson threats. Yeah, of course it's still upsetting to people. Should have used a musical number. Zippity-doo-dah, blackface. Don't worry about that though, because this is a pretty song.
Number 2.
Innocence of Muslims. This movie is Islamophobic. Innocence of Muslims is an anti-Islamic short film that was supposed to be a teaser for a longer movie. It was written and produced by Nakula Basili Nakula, and premiered on YouTube in 2012. So what was so offensive, you ask? I assume you're asking because I can't hear you. For starters, it depicted the Prophet Muhammad, and that is a big no-no in Islam. Not only does it depict him, but it shows him sanctioning the sexual abuse of children and having sex with his wife and other women. So basically there was a line and they crossed it and then came back and pissed on the line and set it on fire. Which should be interesting because you think that now it's wet, it wouldn't burn, but it did. This resulted in violent street protests in the Middle East, and like hundreds of people were injured and a few dozen were killed. YouTube was temporarily blocked in places like Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Fatwas were issued against anyone who worked on the film, and one Pakistani minister even offered a bounty on the producer's head. Well, a fatwa is an Islamic religious ruling, but when issued against someone, it's sometimes seen as a death sentence. So you don't want a fatwa issued against you, is what I'm saying. But the controversy doesn't stop there. There's more. Apparently, all of the anti-Islamic content was added after the fact by dubbing in new dialogue without the actor's knowledge. The cast and crew thought they were making an action movie called Desert Warrior. Considering that this movie is only 14 minutes long, it might have the most controversy per minute ever. Needless to say, Nakula Basili Nakula is no longer making these short films. He's working on campaign videos for Trump. Ha!
Number 1.
Pink flamingos. That sounds fun. This movie is the shit. Literally. In this movie, a drag queen named Divine eats real dog poo. Oh, also there's sex with chickens. The end. Zippity-poo-dah!
10 for 10.
All right, guys, that is it for today. If you don't want your film to get banned, you should probably stay away from the Holocaust, blackface, prophet sex, and poo. All the fun things, I know. I'm Kelly Landry, and you're smarter than you were.
Thank you for watching this Equals 3 Studios production. To watch another episode, click here. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And now, I laugh. Okay, I'm done laughing.